and welcome to the ELLE Scoop Show. We are on our second show of the round table discussions where we are talking about the latest news and the best of entertainment. Right? Give it up, ladies.
Yes.
So excited.
I'm excited.
But before we jump to the show, we need to shout out Miss Rayshonda Johnson, who's the boutique owner for All's Fair in Love and Fashion. She was recently featured on Steve Harvey's show, and today she's with the ELLE Scoop Show. So you all give it up. Tell us about your experience there.
Oh my gosh, it was amazing, surreal, just from the staff being amazing. Steve is so sweet. To having everything in order from the flight to the transportation there. It was absolutely amazing. Our topic was about how to balance work life. We shot it so it'll air on January 4th. So we shot it as if we were already in 2016. And we just got a lot of great advice from Steve. And we had Eric Thomas, which is an amazing motivational speaker that was there. They call him E.T. the hip hop preacher. So you all look him up on YouTube. He's amazing.
Now, how did you get to go there?
They found my story on WDRB back in September when I opened the actual physical location of my boutique. WDRB did a story on me from my journey to my business, and one of the researchers found me online and asked me to come up.
That is just
Well,
amazing.
shout you out, girlfriend.
Yes.
Listen, I'm sitting amongst some very powerful ladies from the 2015 Miss. What's your title? Go ahead and tell them.
Miss Ohio plus America.
All right, sounds good. To this boutique owner who is on Steve Harvey's show, to the former host of Positive Lifestyles and Positive Minds. So I'm sitting amongst some powerful ladies, and you all. This kind of goes into our first question.
You too.
Well, praise the Lord. To God be the glory. Listen, Forbes magazine recently published 20 of the most powerful women in the United States. And these were women that were the COO of Facebook, the CEO of Kraft, and also the CEO of IBM were all listed on there.
Oh, did we make the list?
Well, I'm sure we're somewhere on there. We might be 21, 22, 21 through 25, right? But tell me, as we, I guess, go up and elevate in our careers, what do y'all think is the most important? Do you think it's doing what you love, or is it kind of how much you get paid? It's a hard question, right?
Yes, it is. I think for me, I try to put things in order and in perspective because as I've gotten older, of course, when I was younger, it was all about the money.
Right.
And I've been doing hair and doing another job for 25 years. So as I'm getting older, it's becoming more about faith and family and then money.
All right, then. What do you ladies think?
For me, well, you know, I have bills that I have to get paid. I do have bills that need to get paid, but I have come to a place where it doesn't matter, you know, how much a job is paying me. If I don't enjoy doing that job, it's definitely going to be like torture.
It is. It's like self-sabotage.
Yes.
Like you set yourself up to get fired. Like, I'll be a little late. I'm
right.
Just kidding.
And sometimes it's not, you're not even mindful you aren't doing something on purpose. It's just you dread going someplace. So at this place in my life, I don't want to be in a position of I dread doing this thing. So, you know, I try to do things, you know, to the excellence of God, but I also desire to do something that I enjoy doing. I'm passionate about it because if I'm not passionate about it, then I'm not going to be able to give them my best.
That is true.
Right.
What about you, Ray?
Oh, well, for me, it has to be about what I love to do. Obviously, to be an entrepreneur and step out on nothing to follow a dream, because people, you know, we make up a lot of excuses why we don't do it, and I know that people, like Zuri said, have bills to pay, but also in that essence, if you're being paid a multitude of money and you're not happy, you're stressed out, your family is lacking, which always something is going to be, but not to the point that it's falling apart, then it's not worth the money. So I would take what I enjoy doing, which is empowering women, any day.
And the money
right.
will come.
Yes, the money will come.
The money
Let
will
the church
come.
say amen.
Amen. Well, one thing that I've noticed when women or anybody gets into the spotlight, they may be a powerful woman, they tend to get scrutinized for every single thing that they say. Recently, Ayesha Curry, who's not even in the spotlight on purpose, she's the wife of NBA player Stephen Curry. He plays for the Golden State Warriors, if anybody watches basketball up here. And she made a comment on Twitter, and she just happened to say that everyone's into barely wearing clothes these days, huh? Not my style. I like to keep the good stuff covered up for the one who matters. This is her personal Twitter account, and she was just making a comment of her opinion. She wasn't being interviewed. She wasn't going out and trying to tell girls, you don't need to dress this way. This is just how she felt, just how any of us who may have a social media, we may tend to just say how we feel. And you would have thought that she said something about the president, because social media went crazy and suddenly everyone is putting her on blast, or people are cheering for her for the way that she stood up for women being covered up, or others are saying, well, a woman can dress however she wants to dress and who are you to judge? And it's like she just made a comment about something, her appearance and how she chooses to dress. What do you all think about that?
Well, I mean, I've heard several comments, and I've heard a lot of people looked at that and felt like there was judgment.
Right.
Based on what they saw. Like what they read, they said, okay, well, she's judging me because I wear less. So, I mean, I don't know. Twitter's kind of, it's one of those things like Facebook. You put your personal opinion out there, and it's not necessarily to condemn other people, but it's just your personal opinion. It's kind of what you think and how you feel. So I say more power to her. If she wants to wear more clothes and cover it up for her husband, I say 2 thumbs up. For those that don't, hey, you know what? Like, live life. So.
Well, you know, for me, it goes back into empowering women. It doesn't matter either way for me. I think what she said was correct in how she felt.
Right.
And being from Mississippi, my mom would say, a hit dog will bark.
Yeah,
So
I was just thinking
so if you felt some type of way about it, then you felt some type of you were supposed to feel some type of way about it.
But do you all
it was
think
her personal opinion.
that clothing trends have changed over the last decade, the way that women are dressing now? Do you think that women feel more empowered, so therefore I can wear less clothes, I don't have to be covered up? Or do you think that everybody's just kind of doing what they want to do?
Well, there are lots of trends out there these days.
There are
I mean,
so
there are
many
different trends. I mean, for some people, that's okay. I think it depends on where you work, how you.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, I mean, I think that some clothing styles fit in certain environments, and you can't really wear them everywhere. So, like, you can't really wear your Daisy Dukes at work. Right? I mean, if
Depending
you're
on
wearing
where you
Some
work.
people try.
right? I think you just have to kind of be mindful of where you're wearing them. You know, if you're married or whatever and you want to have on your little sexy dress with your husband, then do that. I mean, I'm not knocking it.
But not in the workplace. There's a difference between when it's time to wear stilettos and when it's time to wear just pumps.
Wait,
you know?
but can you wear stilettos to work?
Oh,
That-
people do.
I think it depends on where you work too,
It
right?
depends on where-
Well,
me, I'm
but when in the office setting,
I think if
probably
you
is
work
not
for
the
like
best
maybe
time
a
to do.
strict law firm or something like that, where it's, you know, everybody's in a suit and a tie and it's very stringent where you work, then I say maybe not the 5-inch heels, but you know,
Right,
like,
because your feet are going to get tired.
okay,
Yes.
that's the
Yes.
truth too.
Yes.
But
Yes.
I think stilettos are okay in certain work environments, depending on where you work.
right? But I was referring to like the office setting.
There you go.
And I've seen I've sat in on interviews, you know, where people do wear, you know, there's a difference between, to me, church, club, and office.
Well, there should be.
There
Yes,
should
Okay.
be. People are graying that line.
Yeah, but in many big cities, when you're following fashion, you can go into a law firm in New York and a woman is dressed a certain way, blouse, pencil skirt, stilettos. I mean, not open toe shoes, but it's
Right.
it's 3 inches and above they wear, and it grazes a line between when is it just a pump or a stiletto. But if they're comfortable and walking in 5-inch heels all day, some people are because they're petite, their weight is not. It just depends on, you have to be comfortable in what you wear.
There you go. Listen, ladies, we're going to go to a break. When we come back, we are going to be hearing from John Harrod, who is a fiddle player in Kentucky. He's going to be telling us a little bit about women fiddlers all over Kentucky. You all stay tuned. When we get back, we'll be hearing from him. Stay tuned and get scooped. I'm so glad you all have tuned in. As promised, we've got Mr. John Harrod here with us, who's going to be playing the violin. Listen, I know him as my old history teacher from high school, but many of you all know him as a fiddle player around Kentucky. How are you doing, Mr. Harrod?
Good, Lyndsey. Thanks for inviting me.
Good. Well, you've been playing the fiddle or the violin for quite a long time. How long have you been playing?
Oh, since about end of high school, beginning of college. I started off with the guitar, then went to the mandolin, and then got a fiddle, but didn't really get serious about it till I was in my 20s.
Okay. Tell me about what you do now with the violin and with the fiddle.
Well, I teach a lot. I have a lot of students, and including some young ladies. And I was going to talk about women fiddlers in Kentucky and play a couple tunes in a minute. But I have students of all ages, and then I play in about 3 different bands, and one of them is a square dance band that I fiddle in. So I keep pretty busy since I retired from teaching.
Wow, a square dance band. What's the name of the band?
The Paw Paw Pickers
Okay.
is the square dance band.
Now, what led you to get involved in that?
The square dance band? Well, if you're a fiddler, sooner or later you're going to get invited to play for square dances, and then you better be in shape because a lot of callers run those sets for a pretty long time. You might have to play a tune for 20, 25 minutes. So it's, not everybody can do it.
All right. Well, sounds good. Well, you're a fiddle player in Kentucky, but there are also a number of different women that play the fiddle all around Kentucky that many people don't know about, like Emma Dickerson. Tell us a little bit about some of them.
Well, it was there were way more in the old days in the rural communities and the small towns. The older generation of people that I started visiting and recording in the 1970s were the last generation to learn their music before radio and phonograph records came along. So they were playing old stuff that had been handed down in their communities and in their families. And it was different everywhere you went. Now there were lots more women banjo players than there were fiddlers. And people have wondered about that, various reasons. You know, some people associated the fiddle with carousing and rough living and getting in trouble, which a lot of times it was. And in old folklore, it was sometimes regarded as the devil's instrument. And so that scared people away.
Really? I never knew that about the violin. I mean, now when people say they play the violin, people think classic. It's classical music. A lot of great things come from the violin. So I never knew that there was a lot of history concerning the fiddle.
It's the same instrument. It's just different traditions. Generally, the violin was the music that was played by trained musicians for courtly audiences, whereas the fiddle was played by the people who learned by ear and learned from other people.
Okay. Tell us about some women that played, that have blazed some trails in Kentucky through the fiddle.
Well, women, of course, as you well know, have blazed trails in everything for a long time. I mean, the women's movement and independent women, like the women on your panel, this is nothing new. Mm-hmm. This goes way back. The women that did play the fiddle, I guess you'd have to give them some points for being brave, because a lot of people didn't think too well of that, but the women who did were all excellent musicians, and they were the boss musicians in their little musical communities. Lella Todd was a lady who lived in Spout Springs in Powell County, who was one of the greatest fiddlers I ever heard. Lily Mae Ledford enjoyed a radio and recording career. She played the fiddle and the banjo. She was from the Red River Gorge in eastern Kentucky, and she played on the radio in Chicago, and came back to Kentucky and played on the early Renfro Valley. You mentioned Emily Dickerson. She was a great fiddler from the Ashland area. She played really fast. And let's see, another lady I think I give you a photograph of was Nancy Stone Stevenson, who was just the 11th child in a family of musicians. Her daddy was a great fiddler, and all of her brothers played. The Stone family of Bath County. She played all the instruments. She told stories. She did everything. But wonderful women, and not only for their music, but in their lives and the things they did in their communities. But I was always interested in the women fiddlers because there were way more men fiddlers. But now, in my musical universe, which I call it roots music, which is kind of a broad category, but that means, to me, it means all the interesting kinds of music that are not really commercial, but it's the kind of music that people do because they feel a need to, and because they enjoy it. And in the world of roots music, women are at the forefront. I mean, they're leading the way, and they're the best singers and the best banjo players and the best fiddlers. And a lot of my best students are women. So
Well, I'm not surprised by that, Mr. Harris.
you
Not
wouldn't
at
be.
all. Just kidding. But tell me a little bit about where we can hear the fiddle being played or anything like that in Kentucky. I don't know much about the fiddle. Like I've told you before, I used to play the violin as a child. And of course it's the same instrument, but I don't know much about it now and where I can hear it or where I can go to, I don't know, get a glimpse of it. So can you tell us some information on maybe where they have a fiddle night in Kentucky or maybe in Frankfort?
Yes. The last weekend in July, there's a great festival at Moorhead, just outside of town in the J.C.'s Park, the Moorhead Old Time Music Gathering. Berea College has its celebration of traditional music every year, usually the third weekend in October. You can look for those. In the warm months, sometimes we have Thursday night jam sessions downtown in front of the old Capitol.
Oh, really?
Here in Frankfort. They have great music, which sometimes includes fiddlers at the Kentucky Coffee Tree on Broadway. So just look for those things. Now, these women that I recorded, they are available on a CD that may be out of print now on Rounder Records, but I did several CDs on Rounder, and some of these women are on there.
Oh, wow.
And you could probably find Lily Mae Ledford on YouTube.
That's super cool. Well, I know obviously it has to be very popular. During the summer concert series this year, they had a number of different fiddlers that came out that were actually the performers for the night. So I thought that was really good, and I actually enjoyed it.
That's a great series, by the way.
It is. I love it. I love it. I think it's a lot of fun. Well, listen, I think it's the time for us to hear a little bit about some of the skills that you have with this fiddle or violin that you have. So take it away, sir.
Okay. I'll play a couple of tunes that I learned from Lela Todd. The first one, this is called Granny Went to Meetin' with her old shoes on, come back home with the new ones on. And now I will do you one called Everybody's Favorite. Now this is a different kind of tune. These fiddle tunes were not all alike. Some people say they all sound alike, but they played lots of different types of music, fiddlers did. This is more of a march that she played. I always thought it was very beautiful. And you'll see this is a different kind of music right away.
Thank you so much, and I hope you all enjoy. Beautiful. All right, and we're back. You all, that was wonderful.
Yes,
a little fiddle playing all over the state of Kentucky. Love it, love it. Kick us off, Ray.
Well, recently, Tia, one of the twins from Tia and Tamari, how you pronounce their last name?
I think it's Maori.
Yeah. She made a comment or just stating outright in an interview because she had been getting a lot of questions on Instagram and about her weight. And she said that, no, I'm not pregnant. this is happy weight I've gained from being married, and I'm okay with it. And stop the body shaming. Do you feel like body shaming is a real issue, or are people real sensitive about their weight?
Yes. Well, I mean,
Yes, because you can ask a woman I don't know if it's incorrect to ask someone, but if you think that they are, do you ask or not?
well, I mean, I'm sure there have been lots of people, I've seen it happen before. You know, you think somebody is pregnant, so you ask, right? And maybe that's a little
dangerous.
insensitive on so many ways, but I do think that body shaming is a real issue. I do think that it's something that everybody kind of, regardless of size, because you can be very small and be scrutinized for the size you are, and you can be, you know, full figured and beautiful, and you know what I'm saying, but still get the shame that comes along with, you know, I guess, how people feel about what you look like. What do you all think?
I'm not receptive to the shame because I am full figured.
All right.
Yes.
Go ahead now.
Glorify it.
This is body shaming is like a huge issue to me. It was one of my platforms with competing, and it's interesting when I have competed in the different Plus America pageants. I am a plus size woman, plus size model. I don't care. I don't desire to be smaller. My frame, I probably would look like a lollipop. But I've had people come to me even and say, "You don't look plus size. How are you Miss Ohio Plus America?" Or when I was Miss Kentucky Plus America, "How are you that? You don't look plus size." And that to me was body shaming, because it made me feel like, well, am I not plus enough for you? Or are you saying that there's a certain size that I have to be considered plus? Because if I go into a store, I'm going to the same section of the store that you may be. I may be at possibly a smaller area, smaller size, but we're both shopping in the same place. So,
well, for models, plus size is like a 6'8".
Yeah,
so
right.
I mean, small people
right.
can be considered plus size these days.
It blows
you know?
my
Okay, if you're
mind.
not like a size 0,
Yes,
then you
right.
might be plus size.
That
Okay.
is true.
that's crazy.
Hi, my name is Lyndsey, and well, no, I'm just
Lyndsey. Well, with the modeling part, this year, 2015, I'm so excited about all the exposure that models, plus size models, have received, because you could say that 2015, the world realized that plus size modeling is a thing. We are here, we are staying, we are not going anywhere.
Yes.
We've had Tess Holliday come as the first size 22 supermodel. I participated in Full Figure Fashion Week this year, which is an awesome event.
Yes, it is.
We also had Lane Bryant. They had a huge campaign with their I'm No Angel, which some believe they were throwing a little shade at Victoria's Secret. So do you all think that mainstream media, everyone is going to really accept the plus size woman, the plus size model, as really being a beautiful person?
well, I think they have to.
I think they
I
don't
think-
have a choice.
I think right. I think you don't have to. I mean, think about stores like Forever 21. How like there was a demand for them to carry larger sizes. So because there was a demand, they had to create a plus size section. And so if there's a demand, stores know. I mean, the bottom line is what they're getting paid.
Right.
Who's coming in and swiping that card and putting down cash that folds, right? So,
Right.
I mean,
The average woman is a size 14, and if you don't offer clothes in my size, then I'm not going to come shop at your store.
there you go.
Right.
So I think they have to. I mean, I think they have to.
Well, that's why I offer all sizes.
Yes.
Because I don't want to exclude, and people think because I'm plus, I don't offer straight sizes, which I don't know why, but I want to make sure everybody's included. So, yes, and a lot of stores have Charlotte rules. Everybody's got on.
plus size
they
woman.
see that it's lucrative, and you know, there may be a few more dollars on the plus size clothes, you know, because they say, oh well, you know, it takes more material, but we will shop.
Yes,
All right.
we will.
Well, speaking of empowering women, what do you all think about women proposing to their men? So you're dating a man, you all have been dating for a little while, and pop the ring out on him. Boo, will you marry me? Would you or would you not?
It's not happening.
It's not happening, never?
Not happening.
No,
Never?
no.
What do you think about women that do it?
I don't see anything wrong with it if that's something that, because I'm a person that I like to go for what I want. So for me, if I felt like the relationship was kind of in that comfortable place and he's just kind of taking his little time and I need to nudge him along a little bit, I don't see anything wrong with it. I do understand the order of things and the way society says that it should be, but I go against society all the time.
I got you. And to go along with that, I mean, though I can't see myself proposing to a man, if I did, I would want him to like save me, sort of, in a way. Like if I ask, if I ask and he said yes, then he would do it the traditional way. Come back and ask me the right way. That way, right. We have a story to tell our children in the future that doesn't seem a little crazy, right?
I've heard people just letting them know, like, you got about 1 more month before. Dropping that
ultimatum
note.
Well, speaking of, if we're going to talk about the whole dating thing too, proposing and all that stuff, what about going Dutch on a date? So going Dutch on a date, on a first date, okay? Let's throw a little whammy in there. And if it's a first date, or when is the acceptable amount of time that you can kind of offer to maybe pay for your meal if you're dating someone? Or should you?
First date. Yeah. I mean, it depends on the type of, I guess, where the relationship is. I mean, if it's the first date, we're just getting to know each other. I don't want there to be an expectation of me at the end of that date, so I do not mind paying my portion.
All right, then.
I agree. If you ask me out, you're paying. That's bottom line. And in progressive, we're talking about where we are in the date. We have to actually be dating. We have spent too much money going out. Let's split this. But first dating, you ask me, oh no, you're paying. And I'm still leaving. I don't owe you anything. I'm still
Yes. Let's cut her out.
Yes.
I like that. I totally
and if it's
agree.
horrible, I'll pay. I'll get up, slide that.
I think that every woman should be prepared if they have to pay.
Yes.
Like I don't think that you should show up on a date and you don't have a dime in your pocket.
Yes.
Like you should always be prepared to have your own exit strategy.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
he's crazy. I'm not staying here on this. I'm going home and I will pay for my meal.
Get up and go to the bathroom.
Okay, or
and
dip out
then you
on
sitting there.
But overall, I mean, I just expect a man to pay. Is that bad? I mean,
No.
I just expect it.
No, if
Hey,
you ask,
you
yes. But if it's horrible, I will pay my part. Don't call me. We don't text. We don't have time.
Well, speaking of that, I think now that the winter months are coming, it's called cuddle season. Ooh. And that's when it's supposedly when you and your mate have broken up recently, and then in the summer months they break up with you, but then in the winter months they want to get back with you. And now it's hotline blinging. So what do y'all think about that?
I don't do repeats. I don't even watch a good movie twice.
Okay.
So if we break up, it's a wrap on your life for any reason.
You're not chewing your cabbage twice.
Oh, okay. I like her. Okay. Yes.
I think you better get you a nice little warm blanket.
Okay, a cup of cocoa.
You don't want to just be leaning on somebody that just happens to call you because it gets a little colder. I mean, I know we big girls and we keep people warm and all, but this isn't a temporary thing where you think that you're going to come back out around. They tend to drop them right before Valentine's Day, from what I understand. So they don't have to buy the Valentine's Day gift.
Oh, all right, there you go.
Even if they make it to Christmas, because that Christmas Day present, so they either drop them right before Christmas, then pick them back up around New Year's for that New Year's kiss, and then they drop them again. No, there's any time.
I say Netflix and chill by yourself. Listen,
right.
We have got to end the show, you all. We have cleared another 30 minutes, so give it up.
Goes by so
ELLE Scoop Roundtable discussion.
Yes.
Listen, the show comes on every Sunday at 5 o'clock, so be sure to check it out. If you have a comment, please email us at ellescoop@info.com, and also be sure to check out the website. It's www.ellescoop.com, and we'll see you all next week. Thank you.